All right, we are joined by assistant coach Kelvin. Kelvin, welcome to the new set.
It's lovely. Great to be back. This is quite nice. I was telling Sal, much more sturdier chairs than the previous set, but this is awesome.
Awesome. So can you just tell us, from your perspective, we've been chatting about, with ourselves, just the Montreal match and what that meant for this team. What did you see and what can you share with us about that performance?
Yeah, I think, Montreal presents such a unique problem in terms of the way that they defend and they man mark all the way around the field. So for a team like us that likes to keep possession, it can be a bit frustrating at times because you're used to identifying space to attack and to exploit. But there's not much space to attack to exploit, which we got somebody next to you. So how we're able to get into these rotations and to create space and to attack the space was really, really important. So kudos to them. They put up a good fight for the first 15, 20 minutes. It was difficult. And it got us out of our rhythm for a good 5-10 minute spell in that first half. We were giving balls away that we don't normally give away. And just decision making on the ball was difficult. But I think once the guys settled in and became more comfortable again, we were able to exploit and get those goals. And again, credit to Montreal and what they do, but it's tough to sustain that for a full 90 minutes. So I'm sure as the season goes along for them, they become much more match fit. It's easier to do, but I think also a good thing for us, we caught them on game one and able to just kind of punish them in those moments.
I had a question going off of that too. So Marv and I were talking a little bit about this before you came here. So Duran was on the ball a lot. Yeah. We noticed that. We also noticed that he was forcing the ball centrally, even with, say he would get it from Manu. McVeigh was open a lot of the time, and I'd see him like kind of overlook it and go central, go central. And I could hear fans being like, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing? And it's so funny because I kind of know, we want to play through the middle and we know the build up. So I understand all that. But like, was that extra part of the game plan? I mean, I think Yeppe spoke about how good Duran was with his feet. Yeah. Was that part like, hey, let's let him be on the ball today, especially with the man marking situation?
Yep. It's two sides of that. I think playing central is a priority is a priority for us, and much more so in this game because of the man marking. If you go wide too early, you actually put yourself in a situation where you get locked. Okay, and then it's tough to use the goalkeeper and it's tough to play against the press again. So with Duran, and I think why he was so instrumental, he's so good with his feet, is if he's just going to sit on the ball, at some point you're going to provoke somebody away from a man mark. Yeah. And our strength is the numbers that we have in the middle of the field. And you can see at some point we ended up finding a numerical advantage as a forward would end up pressing through to Duran. Yeah. So whether that was a midfielder pressing through, which would free up a pivot, or if it was the 9 pressing, which would then free up a center back. But we wanted to always find that advantage by playing central first. And then I think there were a few plays as well. You could see it on the goal where he played direct. Yeah. But I think the one play where he ended up putting Pele in behind directly is a benefit to that, because then when they aren't willing to provoke, but we can move them through opposite movements on the front line and we can open up that space in behind, then he has the ability to just play the space in behind. So we always talk about play what the opponent can give you, what the opponent gives you. And in these moments, yes, we like to play short, but if there's a freeway to goal, you're just going to play the freeway to goal. It looks great to score a goal after 100 passes, but it's a goal is a goal, whether it's one pass or 50. So that was the key to that match, is just finding the moments where we can get players to provoke and to press and then to find the free man. Yeah,
it must have sucked for Montreal because like there would be times where like it's like their midfielder didn't know. Yes. Should I go to Duran? Should I not? And then like he'd end up going, and then I was like boop boop around you, or like maybe they wouldn't go, and it just gave him the time to pick up his head, like you mentioned, and hit some behind. It must have been frustrating for them.
When game prepping, do you think there's any sort of advantage? Just like there's not really any tape on Duran too. I mean, obviously the style of play doesn't change, and you use that position the same way. But do you think that helped in that scenario?
Yeah, for sure it does. Especially when you don't see how good he's been with his feet. So maybe a game plan would be not to press through to him
young
so quickly.
Keeper, maybe they think young keeper. Let's go out a little bit.
He'll be nervous.
Put him under some pressure. And I think that's Duran's super strength as well. Nothing phases the kid. He's just like this all the time. So for sure, I'm sure there's some sort of game planning to that. But even with that, it wouldn't have never changed the way that we play with CJ or Pablo as well. And credit to Duran, he had to step up with the red card to Pablo, and credit to him, he took the advantage and seized the opportunity.
On the pitch, when you say, you have the ball playing around in our 6, in our 18, to provoke them to come out and try to attack it, that's a big piece of bait, especially when a keeper's on the ball, because you think, they're not going to have a lot of time, they're not going to be very skillful, but the way they were able to break them down, I think, is also just debilitating. Like, it just distracts them, and then they have to come back to like, oh my gosh, we almost had it, and they go again and again and again.
Yeah.
So in doing that, I think that also helps, because you said Montreal kind of knocked us off our game in the first couple of minutes. I think their first 10 or 15 minutes, there was like, we're just Bash Brothers. Just hit them.
Yeah, they had like then 5 or 6 fouls in the first
so many.
minutes.
And they were hard fouls too. Like they wanted to make a statement, and they did. And the statement was, okay, cute. Now watch us play. And then we went around them. But aside from that, speaking about the defensive side, moving Bombino over, he can play both sides. And I think he did really well.
Yeah, it's the mantra of the group, especially from last year, and will continue to go into this year. It's next guy up. You've got Willie and Oscar that are coming back from injury. Wilson took a little bit of a knock, and you saw it last year as well, especially towards the end of the year. Ian, who's a left-footed center back, ended up playing as the right back, and then Bombi moves over to the right fullback. I think it's also a testament to Kieran as well. Because in the past we've also moved McVeigh to a right back or put a new center back in, and we could have put Ozzy or somebody into the center back. But Kieran has done such a good job, and it's been so consistent in training that he's earned the opportunity. So he gets slotted in at the left fullback, and Bombi's done well there before. So Bombi plays the right fullback. It's been the mantra again, like I said, next man up. And Bombi had a really, really good week training at the right fullback heading into the game. So we were fully confident and comfortable that he'd be able to do well in the match.
So is that like the way that is at the start of a season where trainings earn your starting position, or is it like that every week, or is it more so there's a certain synergy that we like, we're going to keep them going and then let it play out? Hopefully everyone's healthy, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's always a trickle-down effect. You got to see who is healthy, but let's say everybody is healthy. Training matters, and how you perform in training, not just that week leading into the game, but it's every week leading into that, and whether you're consistent or there's ups and downs. That we'll discuss that. But like I said, for Kieran, he's just he came out firing at the beginning of the year. Maybe took a little bit of a lull, but that's natural because he gets used to the environment. And then he starts to rise again, and like I said, he sees the opportunity. He's earned the right to play there, and we all thought he did quite well.
Yeah. Agreed.
5 goals from 5 different players. Yeah. Had a set piece goal, obviously a clean sheet.
Set piece goals.
What milestones did you add to the list from this match?
3 set piece goals, game changer goal and assist, goal 85 minutes plus, clean sheet.
Love those.
Debut goal.
Not one yet.
That's not a milestone that goes on the wall, but that's definitely one.
They want to contribute, not score
about.
in the first 4 minutes of coming on.
I think overall, it was 14 or 15 milestones from the match. So it was great to see.
What does this type of a performance, especially playing a style that has typically caused some challenges for this team, do for confidence building into the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think that's one reflection that we had as a technical staff coming post-season and into this season is we'll probably see one of 2 things: teams that are going to try to come out and punches in the mouth and be super aggressive and be man on, or teams that will probably sit back a little bit and try to absorb pressure and try to counter. So it's been a focus of ours. It's been a focus of the players, and again, a testament to all the guys. It's as we try to continue to introduce something, they take it full on and try to apply it. So what this does for us for the rest of the season is, at the bare minimum, it gives us knowledge and opportunities to reflect on how we did in this performance and how we end up game planning for future opponents that might be able to do the same thing or somewhat similar.
Speaking of future opponents, the next one is a team we've seen now. This will be the 3rd time, but they look quite different. New coach, different players, new style of play. What have you seen, and what are you preparing for in this matchup?
Yeah, it'd be very much different than the St. Louis of last year, where they sat in the back five and looked to absorb pressure and looked to counter. Obviously, looking at them through preseason this year and looking at the first game, they're quite comfortable on the ball and they want to play. They're pretty expansive, pretty comfortable on the ball, brave to play in tight spaces, but also on the opposite side of it, aggressive to win the ball higher up the field and try to press, win the ball back and counter. So you see, it'll be a good match. Two teams that like to play in similar-ish styles and try to exploit opportunities that the other team gives you. So credit to the roster build that they've had and to Johan. I know Johan from Columbus and obviously spent some time with Wilfred, so there's quite a few similarities in the way that they'll play, but also know Johan will create his own methodologies and style of play, and he'll definitely come with some tweaks and some game plans specific for us as well.
How do you get ready for that? Because last year, like you said, a completely different team. They sat back, they just tried to counter. Now it just looks like they have a total makeover with not only players but the coach and their whole identity and game model. Like, what do you watch some of their games from preseason? Do you watch their one game against Charlotte and try to take as much as you can from that? Because you mentioned they're probably going to come with some hidden stuff that maybe you guys didn't expect. What's the week looking like to prepare for that?
Yeah, it's obviously there's not much on them because they're brand new. Excuse me, but for sure we look at all their preseason matches. You have an idea of what they're trying to do in preseason, and every preseason match is a little bit different because you're gaining one, familiarity in the way that you're trying to play and how you're going to introduce it, gaining different levels of fitness for players. So the mixing and matching and what they're trying to potentially do in every preseason game may be a little bit different. But you try to look for then commonalities. And then now once they've got the first game in, now you can try to see and mix and match. Okay, this is what they did in preseason, so this is what we can pretend to see in the match on the weekend when they play us. And the flip side of that as well, they're also new and trying to do what they're trying to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try something that we haven't seen yet. That's just the nature of it. I remember last year when we played Toronto, it was the first team that came out and man-marked us, and it was surprising for us. But as always, as we go into the week, it's always focusing on us and our style of play and how we can oppose the game and how we can control spaces. So we'll have a big picture of what we're trying to do, and then comes the game itself and all the help and all the eyes that we have on the match and try to adapt in-game as needed.
In-game,
Yeah, I was going to go off that because one thing that you said in the past and that we do quite well is no matter where we are, we play our game. Like it seems like if we want the game to go at our pace, we're going to make it at our pace. So it seems like whenever our preparations come up, is it more about the other team, the way the other team defends and how we're going to approach that attack? Or is it how they attack and how are we going to recover? Or is it a little bit of both, which I'm assuming it is, but because we're so dominant when it comes to controlling everything, it's almost like, we want to make sure that we can do what we can do just in certain situations and in certain spaces.
Yeah, for sure. There's always going to be those little tactical nuances that are opponent specific. Case in point, against Montreal, you saw Anders and Onni dropping a little bit deeper into deeper spaces to pull players into positions where they weren't comfortable defending. I think there was one point Montreal center midfielder was defending on the last line against Pele. So there's always going to be those tactical nuances based on what we see of the opposition. So we'll do the exact same thing as we head into St. Louis. But as always, it's about how we can set ourselves up for success and put our players in the best position to be able to be successful.
So in scouting, are you looking for someone who might be not as disciplined as others? Someone that might be a little loose and like a little free roaming and be like, okay, well, they're going to follow him way over here so we can open up a space here.
Yeah, for sure. Potentially. Yeah, you look at different matchups and how they're going to defend, spaces that they leave open. Teams who play 5 in the back versus 4 in the back. If you play 5 in the back, you can always have your wing backs go high, so there might be space behind the wing backs. They might sit with the wing backs, so there might be space in front of the wing backs. The center backs might not be as aggressive, so we can play in the pocket, or they're super aggressive, we can play in behind. So there are always going to be things that we're going to look at and try to game plan for, but it's always going to be how we can implement it in the way that we want to play.
Love that.
Well, we're excited to see this all unfold. It's our first Sunday night soccer matchup. It's actually 1 year to the day of our home opener versus St. Louis City. So I think that's very exciting. But we'll see you all at Snapdragon Stadium, 6 p.m. for kickoff on this Sunday versus St. Louis City. Games presented by Dios Azul. There's a giveaway. The first 25,000 fans in the stadium will receive a football jersey. It is our San Diego Sports Night. You'll see this image probably many times, but excited for y'all to get out there. And thank you so much, Kelvin,
Absolutely.
always for joining us for
Absolutely.
our match preview presented by Alaska Airlines. Always appreciate your insight.
Thank you.
As the official specialty insurance partner of San Diego FC, Palomar offers standalone earthquake insurance that protects property and peace of mind. It's crucial to be prepared. Visit plmr.com or contact your insurance agent for a quote. Palomar, reimagining specialty insurance with innovative, creative solutions.